Hello and welcome. Today's verse of the day is one that I hold very near and dear to my heart, and that is Esther chapter 4 verse 14. For if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance will arise from another place, but you and your father's family will perish. And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this. So Esther is reminded that her voice could be the very reason that she was put in her position, to make a difference when it matters the most. And guys, honestly, I really wanted to come on here and talk about this verse specifically because we live in a generation where we feel shame and guilt to admit the things that we personally struggle with and the things that we're battling. So guys, there are some people who are incapable of getting themselves out of the situations that they're in. And I was one of those people. So my mom had to really come to realize the things that I was doing and, step in and put a stop to it. My mom is my direct neighbor, like she literally lives in the house next to me. So she pretty much picked up on the path that I was on pretty quickly. But the point is, guys, that when the moment comes to step up and to speak up for those who can't speak for themselves and to use your voice to help pull people out of positions that they can't pull themselves out of, you guys need to step up. So this is your Esther calling. You don't want the moment to come and for you to do nothing, because you want to let the Holy Spirit work through you and use your experiences to help other people and to deliver them. So the same way that Jesus delivered you and he delivered me, the same way that Jesus used somebody else to interfere and step in and help me, when the time comes, you guys really need to step up and use your voice. Don't be afraid of being seen. Don't be afraid of being heard. Don't be afraid of being judged. So many people have these fears that it really stops them from stepping into their divine calling and help other people through their own experiences. So the things that we go through that hurt us the most are the things that ultimately end up being our purpose. I've said in other videos and I'll say it again in case you're new here. So God will really use what the enemy sends you for good and for purpose. And if you've been through something, you know that your voice has the capacity to help somebody else who's struggling with something similar. You guys really need to use that voice. Don't be scared of being judged when in that moment that other person's life is more important. Like, other people are struggling. There's people who are going through the same thing that you are going through right now. And just think back to that moment when you were in that situation, when you felt alone, when you felt like you couldn't turn to anybody, when you were afraid of being judged. So you need to be the light for others. You need to be the voice and, stop being afraid of judgment or stop being afraid of being heard. I come from a Hispanic family, so I 100% understand the fear of judgment. When I started making videos, I got a lot of people saying, you're just going to talk about all the addictions that you went through online, and you're just going to talk about all your experiences, and you're going to talk about, getting abused. No, how are you going to share all these things? These things are things that should be kept secret. And, but this is the thing. This is why so many people struggle with these things, because it's a secret. And because when the time comes that you're struggling, you don't even know who to turn to. When you realize that you have a problem, there's so much shame behind that. You feel like such a fuck up. You feel so embarrassed. And there's so much pressure to be perfect, so much pressure to seem like you have your shit together. It's the end of the fucking world if people know that you're struggling. And this stigma is exactly what we need to break out of. And we can do it one testimony at a time. So once we start sharing our story without any shame and we start owning up to what it is that we went through, and we start seeing it as our purpose instead of seeing it as our curse and seeing it as our downfall or the period of destruction that you went through in your life, use that period that you learned from and use that period that built so much wisdom in your life for good, and put that wisdom to use. Talk to people, share your stories with people. Don't be afraid of owning up to the things that you've done. It's okay. You don't identify with that person anymore. That's not you anymore. It's okay to say, I used to be an alcoholic. It's okay to say, I used to freaking do drugs. It's okay to admit it, okay? Because it's not you anymore. And it's when you create that disconnection between your old self and your new self, you're not gonna feel shame. You're gonna feel like everything that you went through brought you exactly where you are right now. Like, if I wouldn't have gone through that extremely dark period of my life, I wouldn't have felt the need to seek God to begin with, because I would have felt like I already have it all. Like, sorry guys, that was my bunny. He's loose on the table. And the thing is, like, what happens to those people who can't come to the realization that they have a problem? What happens to those people that, even though they do realize that they have a problem, they can't stop, or they don't know why they keep doing a certain thing? That's what an Esther calling is all about. Like, that is what we learn in this verse, that we're meant to be a voice for those who can't speak for themselves, and we're meant to step up and use our negative experiences to help those who are currently going through the same thing or something similar, because in reality, you're the only person that can understand what that person is going through if you were in their shoes not too long ago, or however long ago. And guys, like, your testimony and your voice has such a big impact. It's mind-blowing. Like, you guys can help so many people, and I promise you that if you really sit down and say, I've been through this, I've been through this, I've been through this, and you'll realize how many groups of people you identify with that you can help. And I don't want to talk about my divine assignments that I'm currently facing online, but I do want to say that when the time comes to act, and when the time comes to step up and be the voice and the force helping another person who needs it, who is in your shoes, let the Holy Spirit work through you. Let him. Because if you start putting your own needs first, and you start becoming selfish, and you just don't allow God to fully work through you because you start prioritizing your own needs, obviously, like, never forget your own needs, but if you don't let God work through you from a place of pride, from a place of ego, from a place of selfishness, first of all, there's punishment for that. And second of all, God's blessings come to those who serve him, and God blesses those who he can work through. And I want you guys to really think about the things that you have gone through. Think about the people that you know or that you have come across. When God places you in a position to help, when God places you in a position to use your wisdom to help move another person's life, do it. Let God work through you. Okay, I'm gonna end it right there. So the blessings come to those who allow the Lord to work through them. Your voice may very well be the reason why somebody gets themselves out of a very hard situation, or it may very well save somebody's life, even, because you don't know what people are going through. And that leads me to really emphasize judgment. Like, don't judge people. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know the struggles that people are facing internally. So instead, use your wisdom and use your understanding and your patience from your past experiences to really put yourself in their position, and to step up when the time comes, and to act and to help those who can't help themselves. And guys, like, there's a lot of people who can't help themselves, because the thing is that we make excuses for our own mental chains and keep ourselves stuck in them even longer. Like, it's really hard to take accountability for the things that we're doing until it's too late, or until somebody else intervenes. So it's really important to use your voice, guys. Use your voice, don't be scared, and fuck what people think. Okay, fuck what people think. Think about that person that is viewing your advice as life-changing, life-saving. Think about the impact that you can make. Think about the things that you can do for people, and think about the things that the Lord can do through you. And the Lord will bless you. Bless others, and the Lord will bless you. Love you very much.